think the film is just, it does have some really fun twists and turns, and such a great cast. I mean, just working with so many amazing people, and the storyline is also intricate and a lot of fun. So my particular role, I was a double agent, so I got to kind of tap into multiple kind of personalities and go back and forth between what am I today on set, and who am I with, and what am I in that role, and then switch back to another role. So that was a fun adventure for me. And then it's one of these films that kind of shows the backstory of sort of good versus evil, and then makes you have the intricacies of conscience and thinking about why do you think this is good and why do you think this is bad, and then the consequences surrounding each of those things. I always like thought-provoking films, so I think this was one of those. I loved this role, actually. First off, I love action. It's my favorite genre of film because it encompasses so much of my real life, like things that I love to do in real life. I'm sort of an all-in person and love adventure and athletics, and I've spent a lot of time in health and wellness and fitness. And so when I can bring that to a role, that just makes it that much more exciting to me. And my character, Kate, was a double agent and working at this retirement, what was appeared to be a retirement facility for agents that had been compromised who needed a safe place. She got to kind of play the double agent role, as well as, when everything hit the fan, get to be in the middle of all the action. So yeah, it was a really, really fun role to play. As a role, it was a really authentic role for me. So I think to embody that character, she was, big-hearted and just like a good person through and through, but also like didn't take no for an answer and would get in there and make things happen and, just fight with the best of them. And so that whole aspect was really fun for me. I think the challenge probably had more to do with new experience of the COVID thing from the last couple of years, because it made everything just like cramming in. There were all new protocols. There's a whole lot of new dynamics that you're dealing with on set. Everybody was super stressed out about making sure that things fit in a certain time period, because if the entire film shut down because one person ended up being sick, that's a huge loss. So it was very intense shoot days. Everything was crammed into way too short of a time to do a huge, epic action film. And so it made it very challenging to have all the stunt scenes down, because I do all my own stunts. So I don't have a stunt double at all. And so every time I would have had a break, I was texting the stunt coordinator and being like, hey, I need some more work. Help me here. And so he was super awesome and accommodating and would always jump in, but it just means there's no breaks. And then, every little thing that had to change, so then we wouldn't get as many rehearsals or, those kinds of things. So changing things in the moment on camera, and okay, we're going to do another take out all this, move this around here, say this instead. Okay, go. And so it was very mentally and physically challenging to be able to cram all of that into a very short period of time. Such a great group. I mean, obviously, Bruce is everybody knows him, and he was so great to work with. Such an amazing human, super friendly and caring, as well as everyone else. I mean, I really enjoyed the process and just getting to know some of these really stand-up humans. Chad Michael Murray, just such a great guy and super devoted family man, someone who could be admired in real life, so that's always cool to see. Jesse, always a good time. So many of them, and some beautiful, beautiful, inspiring women that I was able to work with. So yeah, all in all, a cast was really amazing, and it was a beautiful experience. My parents sort of instilled in me a perspective for other people and what other people are going for, going through and what they're living through. And the first time I ever gave everything that I had away, I was 5 years old, and I sent every little bit of money that I had gathered to these children who needed food. And so I'm grateful for the perspective of them giving me, eye-opening opportunities. And then early on, I started meeting people who were doing that kind of work. And my family would help host them or take care of them, or And that gave me a perspective on what's happening in other parts of the world. And I loved the perspective of our huge world. And, everything is not this little moment that you're living, right? And when you can have a perspective that reaches beyond yourself and sees other people and their needs and what they're going through and heartache and crisis and all of that, I think when you're living your own pain and something that seems earth-shattering and heartbreaking and like something you can't dig out of, when you can have a perspective of, what is somebody else going through and how can I protect them from this feeling that I'm having, or, something that I've gone through. So I generally try to turn experiences into something that I can use to benefit somebody else. And so I guess that's kind of how I got in deep with the humanitarian thing. I'm on the go a lot and I don't ever go to a gym, but I am like conscientious fitness all the time. So everything from eating to thoughts and working out. If I'm on a plane, I literally work out the whole time. I'll be doing like wall sits, pushing against the back of the seat. And then I'll like lean back in my chair and work out my abs like until it hurts. So a lot of isometric type stuff if I can't be somewhere where I can actually do cardio. And then generally speaking, I try to do every single possible phone call, while doing crunches or on an elliptical or a treadmill. It's kind of, it's a lot, but it actually works. And then same thing with food. Like I just try to keep my metabolism amping by eating little meals all the time. So I'm always eating something, but really, really small. And it keeps me, kind of my goal is to never, ever be hungry, but also never be full. And so it actually works really well. Shout out to my friends over at Padrisimo magazine. Be sure to check out my new film coming out April 29th, digital, on demand, and in select theaters.